for our test, okay? So today we are starting literal equations. What is a literal equation? Well, this is an example of a literal equation. What do I notice here? There's 4 variables. Okay, over here, the ones we've been solving only have 1 variable. Okay, so a literal equation is an equation with what? Multiple variables. We've been working equation with multiple variables. We've been working with equations with only 1 variable. Today we're going to work with equations with multiple variables. Okay, and those are called literal equations. So we're going to kind of compare our process here to our process when we're solving our literal equation. Okay, we're still going to start the same way. This is exactly like what we've been doing all unit. So draw your line through the equals, circle your variable. What do I do first to get my variable by itself? Add 5, very good. So I get 2x equals 18, very good. Keep your variable circled, and then what do I do next? Divide by 2. And we get x equals 9. Okay? We're going to follow that same process, okay, when we're solving our literal equations. Draw your line through the equals. The biggest thing is you have to make sure you're solving for the variable it's telling you to solve for, because it's not obvious because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 variables, okay? So it says solve for x, so I'm going to circle my x variable. So that's what I'm wanting by itself. Okay. What is on the same side as the x but not glued to it? The minus b. How do you get rid of a minus b? Add b. So drop down your ax equals, can I actually combine c plus b to make one term? Are they like terms? No, one's a c and one's a b. They're not like terms because they're not the same variable. So I'm just going to write c plus b. You can't actually combine them. Keep your x circled. What do I do next to get x by itself? How's that a attached to the x? By multiplication, so I'm going to divide. Draw your fraction bar on both sides. The a's on the left cancel out, and I get x equals. Can I actually do c plus b divided by a and get one nice pretty answer? No, it's just c plus b over a. And there's my answer. So when we are just solving our 1 variable equations, we get a value for our variable. Whenever we're solving our literal equations, it's not going to be a nice pretty numerical answer. Okay? Do you follow the same exact steps though? Yeah, so you follow the same exact steps when you're solving your literal equations. So it says identify the similarities and differences between the two. Okay? On both of them, we used opposite operations. To isolate the indicated variable. So that's something that's the same. We followed the same steps. But what makes them different? This answer looks... So this one looks nice and pretty, right? Simplified. This one looks kind of messy, right? Okay, so the literal equation doesn't simplify nicely. Due to multiple variables. So my answers today, my solutions today are not going to be nice and pretty, okay? We're following the same steps, though, as we've been using all unit. Okay, we ready? So we are drawing our line through the equals. How do I know which variable to circle? It says solve for W, so which variable am I circling? W. I want W by itself. How is that L attached to the W? By multiplication, right? That says times L. So how do you get rid of a times L? Divide by L. So I'm going to divide both sides by L. I always make my L curly so it doesn't look like a 1. What's L over L? They cancel out. So what's left on the right-hand side? W equals, can you actually do A divided by L? No, so I just keep it A over L. Is my variable now all by itself that we wanted to solve for? Solve for W, is W alone? Done. So I will say some of these are actually a shorter process, guys. Some of these are actually a shorter process. That only took one step, right? Okay. Let's look at number 2. Draw your line through the equals. What variable am I going to circle? H, because it says solve for H. How is that B glued to the H? So the opposite of multiplication is? So I'm going to divide both sides by B, because I want to move the B away. So the B over B cancels, and I get H equals A over B. It doesn't simplify. There's my answer. Okay, we're going to skip 3. Let's go to 4. Draw your line through the equals. What variable is it asking me to solve for here? T. Okay. In the past, I've been saying, don't do multiple steps all in the same step, right? I've said do step 1, then step 2, then step 3. What operation is going on with your P, your R, and your T here? You're multiplying P with R with T. So I want to undo multiply by P and multiply by R. Multiplication is the same operation as multiplication. So can I undo multiplying by P and multiplying by R in the same step since it's the same operation? Yes. So I want to get rid of the times P, so I'm going to divide by P. But I also want to get rid of the times R, so I'm also going to divide by R. You only can do this when you're undoing the same operation. Okay, you only can do this all in one step when you're undoing the same operation. You can't like undo adding and multiplying. But here we're undoing 2 multiplying, so I can divide by 2 things. What happens with your P over P? R over R. So I'm left with T equals. Can I do anything with my I over PR? Nope, I over PR. There's my answer. How are we feeling about these, guys? Not too bad? Are any of us liking these more than solving for a variable that's only one variable? They're shorter. Okay. Let's go to number 5. Line through the equals, what variable am I going to circle? Okay, what am I going to move away? How? I can divide by L and W because I'm undoing the same multiplication operation. L over L, gone. W over W, gone. And I get H equals what? V over LW. Good? Okay, let's go to 7. Draw your line through the equals. What variable am I trying to solve for? C, so circle the C. What's on the same side as the C? Minus S. How do you undo a minus S? Plus S. So negative S plus S. Cancel out. And I have C equals, can I actually do M plus S? No, so I'm just going to keep it M plus S. I can't simplify it. I can't combine those two terms to make one term. So there's my answer. C is equal to M plus S. Draw your line through the equals. Circle what variable? M. What's that fraction bar represent? What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So what am I going to do on both sides? Multiply by V. So what happens with your divide by V and times V? They cancel out. And I'm left with M equals D times V is just dV. Guys, this is where it's super important to be able to properly identify what operation you're doing with the variable you're trying to solve for. Okay? Now, sometimes, those were all one step. I just had to do one thing to get the variable by itself. Sometimes you're going to have to do multiple things. Okay? We do our PEMDAS backwards. Okay? You can remove your fractions by multiplying by the reciprocal. We did that already, haven't we? And then you divide by whatever is next to the variable. Okay? We're going to skip these top ones actually, and let's go to number 13. Line through your line through your equals. What variable are we solving for? W, circle W. So what is on the same side of the W but not glued to it? The 2L, right? How do you move a positive 2L from the right to the left? Minus 2L. So what's 2L minus 2L? And I'm left with 2W. And then on the left side, can I actually do P minus 2L and make one term? No, so it's just P minus 2L. Keep your W circled. What do I do next? Divide by what? Just divide by 2. The 2's cancel, and I get W equals, you can leave it, P minus 2L over 2. Done. So when we're doing these, you shouldn't really be making mistakes when you're simplifying because you don't really have to simplify. Okay? We're just doing the opposite operation to get the variable by itself. There's not a lot of simplifying you have to do. Good? Yes, ma'am. When Yusra comes back. She said that. Okay, let's do number 14. Draw a line through the equals and circle Y. Okay. What am I going to move over first? The what kind of X though? The X is glued to. So I'm moving the whole AX over. How do you move a positive AX from the left to the right? Subtract AX. So I get BY equals C minus AX. Keep your Y circled. What do I do next? Say it louder, what? Divide by B. Divide both sides by B. So I get Y equals C minus AX over B. Okay, I want y'all to try number 15 on your own. Try 15 on your own. Yes, sir. Are you feeling okay? Yeah, you can go. Just go. Are you okay, Michaela? Wait. No, I get it. You're good. Are we in band?
Band?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. I didn't know if I heard the football people didn't get home until like midnight last night, so.
I just have a terrible sleep pattern, so.
Easing back into school, guys. I'm starting to work it. Check yourself with me, okay? So I got x equals y minus b over m. Good? How'd we do? Thumbs? Good? Bad? Okay, we're going to do two different ones that aren't on here, so over to the side, we're going to write different problems. Okay? So let's write 3x let's do 6x minus 3y equals 18. And we're solving this for y. Okay? Solve for y. Now this one has some numbers, right? So do we think some things might be able to simplify? Yeah. Okay, draw your line through the equals, and we're going to circle our y, because our y is what we want. Okay, what's on the same side as the y, but not glued to it? The what? So the 6x, so I'm going to subtract 6x to move it to the other side. Very good. So 6x minus 6x cancel, drop down your negative 3y. I'm going to put my x in front of my 18. Okay? Keep your y circled. What do I do next? Divide by what?
Negative 3.
Divide by negative 3. Great job. So I get y equals. This is where we're a little tricky, guys. Okay? It's a little tricky. How many terms do I have in the numerator? 2. I'm going to divide both of those terms by negative 3. Okay? So what's negative 6 divided by negative 3? 2 what? And it has a x, so 2x. And then what's 18 divided by negative 3? Negative 6. So when you have more numbers in the problem, normally you're going to be able to simplify it a little bit more. Do we remember from last year what this is? Does anyone remember? The 2's your sub. This is a line. This is a linear function. We will be doing these a lot this year. Okay? Let's do one more that's similar to this. Okay? I have 4x minus y equals 8. And we're solving still for y. So draw your line through the equals and circle y. What am I going to move first? How do you move your positive 4x from the left to the right? Minus 4x. Very good. What am I dropping down on the left? Not y. Negative y. So then I get negative 4x plus 8. Hold on really quick, I'm almost done. And then what do? Y is not by itself. Very good. If you have a negative there, that's like a negative 1. So I'm going to divide by negative 1. So then I get y equals I'm going to divide both terms by that negative 1. So negative 4x over negative 1, 4x, and then I'm going to divide my 8 by negative 1, and I get negative 8. Biggest thing on this one, guys, make sure if there is a minus in front of your y and you're solving for y, it's not okay to have your answer say negative y equals something, okay? We good? We are done with our